Thank you for allowing me to speak and tell you a little bit about Trajan and how Syngap affects our life. Despite doing a fair amount of public speaking, speaking about Trajan and Syngap is hard for me. So when John Hill called to ask that I participate in the gala, I was kind of hoping that he was calling to have me set up the chairs, but I am not here to set up the chairs. Yes, please. So I have a quick little video about Trajan. Hi, I'm Kari Imperatore, and this is Trajan. He's 9, and we're here to tell you about our journey with Syngap. Trajan was diagnosed on June 1st, 2024, while we were searching for a genetic disorder to further understand his seizures. His neurologist wanted to understand a genetic disposition for his seizures, and she suggested that we test him genetically to see if there was a medicine that would be better for him, and then that's when we found his Syngap diagnosis. Let me tell you a little bit more about Trajan. So, as I said, he is a really, really smart little boy. And as smart little boys go, he loves some really interesting things. So he's really mechanically minded. And he loves some really out-of-the-box things. He loves outboard engines, he loves fans, and he loves anything that can go fast. So think wheels, motorcycles, and anything that can go. I often call Syngap the best of times and then the worst of times because it is hard. It is a hard disease. Even one aspect of Syngap is debilitating for a parent, and Trajan is a classic Syngapian. He has GI issues, he has seizures, he's nonverbal, he has profound autism, he has trouble transitioning from one place to another, he has sleep issues at times, and then he has trouble with when he's told no. And it is also the best of times because he has this knack of finding the best people. He just is drawn to amazing people, and he has opened my eyes to a world that I would have never found without having a special needs kiddo. So I call Syngap the best of times and the worst of times because it has brought me so much hope that there's amazing and good people in this world because I find them because of Trajan. Because unfortunately, I need to rely on good people because I need their help. Because Trajan finds them because he has no bubble and will seek them out as well. So to have a foundation like SRF to help, to bring resources and literature and other parents' expectations and assistance, and what helped and what didn't help is uplifting and enlightening, and it makes all of the difference to raising a kiddo with Syngap, and it is just something that I just want to say thank you for. Thank you to SRF, and thank you to all of the parents that have provided just any insights to other parents that have gone throughout this journey. We also found a group of people like SRF that were looking for a better way of life for Trajan through drug trials and therapies for a better hope for his future.
You're gonna set me on fire, baby? Come on, shake it, buddy. Shake it. Shake it. Shake it, G.
better dancer than I am, I have to say. So I very much appreciate you watching the video depicting our initial journey with Syngap. There's much more to living with a kiddo with Syngap. Trajan has no personal bubble. How Trajan processes the world is shaped by people that he encounters in his daily travels. Strangers can make or break his world. I just want to close with a quick story about how impactful people can be to a Syngapian and a parent. This is an event that happened 3 weeks ago during a whale watching trip in Cape May, New Jersey. And again, for us, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. My Aunt Joan graciously booked a VRBO for the family in Cape May, and as an event, she expressed that she wanted to go whale watching. I was initially concerned, and although Trajan loves boats, the eco-friendly excursion was a small boat with a lot of people, and the tour was set to last 3 hours. Knowing that we would have limited options to divert his behavior if it went south, I was again concerned. I was starting to have negative thoughts of the tour turning into the New Jersey version of Gilligan's Isle style 3-hour tour. But it was important to her, and I am ever reminded that Trajan loves a good boat ride. So we got excited and we dressed for the part, all decked out in his whale shirt. And we adapted the "if we build it, they will come" philosophy, and we got ready to spot whales and dolphins. It started off great. He did his own thing, he sat on the floor, staring at the bulkhead, enjoying the sea breeze, and playing with his toy hairdryer. And of course, he selected a seat dangerously close to the freshwater discharge button. And being mechanically inclined, I was very, very nervous because he's a boy that loves to push buttons. I was constantly on guard, but I'm happy to report that he was great and he did not approach the fire hose button. However, this is not where our story ends. He tired of this location and decided to climb to the top deck of the observation area. Of course, this was the best place to see the mammals, and it was crowded for the area of the boat. Syngapians are very task-oriented and are known to get fixated on things. And Trajan has a limited fear of danger. And with this combination, he decided that he wanted to play at the top of the very wet stairs. And these stairs were also very steep. And yes, people are trying to transit these wet, steep stairs. Finally, I got him to sit to the left of the wet, steep stairs. Unfortunately, there were 2 adults at the top of the stairs, and those 2 adults declared that this bench was taken and to find another seat. Ugh, this ensued a full meltdown, and this, folks, ensued the worst of times for me and the whole boat. Again, Syngapians are extremely focused little people, and again, this was the worst of times. At this time, he continued to have a full meltdown. He was on his back. He was crying, arms flailing. He's loud. Tears are flying. Snot is flying. And let me remind you, most of the boat is at the top deck. It's a lot. Everyone is watching us. Trajan is making a break for the railing. Mid-tantrum, a lady comes over and, no kidding, asks me, "Are you okay?" "No, I'm not okay. Do you want to switch spots?" She gives me a horrified look and walks off. I'm guessing that was a no, or it was the wrong response. We were 47 minutes into this 3-hour tour, and it was turning into my worst fear of the Gilligan's Isle 3-hour tour. And to save myself and my thoughts, I was just having the thought of having the whole boat eaten by a whale. Yes, I was holding onto Trajan by the waist. He was going for the railing. I was having a meltdown. He was having a meltdown, and I was just praying that the boat was eaten by a whale, because I wasn't sure how I was going to process the next 2 hours with my fellow Syngapian. Then just all of a sudden, Trajan stopped. He stopped crying, he stopped squirming, and he made a break for the center of the boat. Remember, he was covered in sweat, snot, and slime, so he was slippery, and he escaped my arms, and he made a beeline for an elderly lady sitting next to a black tub in the center of the boat, and I was horrified. I had just let my son go, and he was running towards an elderly lady, and the lady was dressed in the nines and sitting by herself. Trajan was wearing his little light-up Crocs, and all I could remember was that there was a little flash of red and his little legs were going, and he was running towards this lady. He jumped into the elderly lady's arms, and just as I arrived, and I was terrified that she was going to be upset. And again, remember, she was dressed to the nines and sitting alone, and my son had totally just violated her space. And I'm sure that she had just witnessed his 20-minute meltdown. I arrived just in time to watch her snuggle Trajan and say, "Thank you, little boy, I needed a snuggle. I was really sad." And I just died. I just died for so many reasons. I was really close to shutting down myself. This was a statement that could build me up so quickly. I am ever grateful for Trajan's uncanny ability to find amazing people and impact them in such a powerful way. We visited with the elderly lady for about 30 minutes, and she was awesome with Trajan. She had this sense of calmness that I can't even begin to express. The black tub next to her was filled with water, and it contained a horseshoe crab. Trajan kept trying to touch the crab's eyes and its tail. And of course, the lady was very patient and kind and patiently reminded him that he was not able to touch these spots and rather just touch the back of the crab. And she never wavered with her patience with Trajan and the crab. I am really proud to report that Trajan unites people, as there was another couple from Kansas sitting across from the elderly lady that joined us in interacting with the horseshoe crab as well. I think that the lady from Kansas may have caught me crying, just as I was thankful for the small bit of respite out of our 3-hour tour. Suddenly, Trajan was done with the crab, and he was on the move towards the stairs again. And I said a quick goodbye to the elderly lady and the folks from Kansas, and I thanked them for being so kind to a little boy and his mom. I will never forget the look of peace in the elderly lady as I looked back. The remainder of the trip was awesome. Trajan was the mayor of the boat. He did not sit down. He was constantly on the move. We met all kinds of amazing people. There was a lady from Florida that was fluent in sign language, and we also met an ER nurse that loved standing next to Trajan, pointing out all kinds of birds. I am ever reminded that Syngap makes our days very, very hard and amazingly unpredictable. But it's essential that we take the chance on the adventure, as there are great people on the horizon, and it is important for others to meet Trajan and other Syngapians for a host of reasons that I will never understand. And I am ever reminded that Trajan's adventures and daily life are impacted by strangers. Just know that you are no longer a stranger to Syngap, but please know that you can make a great impact in a Syngapian's day today. Thank you for being here tonight.